Hello, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today for today's Q&As, question and answer videos I do every single Monday. I want to welcome new subscribers to the channel. Welcome everybody. Thank you for subscribing. This is a question and answer video that I do every single Monday. And what I'm doing today is answering people's questions from the last question and answer video from last Monday. And any questions you have today, please go down below into the and where you ask questions and ask me anything you want, please, and I'll answer them next Monday in the next question and answer video. So that's how it works. I like to make a recommendation every week. This week, and even last week, I recommended some nasal oxytocin spray. If you're interested in something like that, go check out the last week's Q&A, and I always have links in the description box. Today, I'm recommending something that promotes or stimulates serotonin and dopamine, and I found it on famous Amazon. I have a link down in the description box for this product I'm going to tell you about. So, to let you know, serotonin and dopamine are both neurotransmitters. They're in our brains, and typically after emotional abuse and trauma, things like this, what you guys have experienced, these things are extremely low or not in balance. And it causes us a lot of problems. And if you could take something to help this, you'll find better and better results for your recovery and healing. So, serotonin, real quick, some of the things that will help this this product, which helps stimulation of serotonin, is to help regulate mood, appetite, and sleep. Serotonin also has some cognitive functions, including memory and learning. Modulation of serotonin at synapses is thought to be a major action of several classes of pharmacological antidepressants. Thought that was pretty interesting. And let me see here. So, and dopamine I wanted to talk about, also a neurotransmitter that needs to be balanced. And many of you, I'm sure, are imbalanced, and you can take something like this. And I also looked it up, and do dopamine supplements really work? By working naturally with the body to better utilize dopamine, these supplements are able to help those with both low and high levels of dopamine. Once the dopamine level can be brought back to normal by using a dopamine supplement, many benefits can be seen. And I also wanted to tell you, somewhere in here, you can get like a dopamine shot from your doctor. Stuff like this. It will help you balance these things. Very necessary if you guys want to recover. There's natural ways to do this too, but a lot of it is doing things you don't want to do, but you're supposed to do, you should do, and that's, we need to stimulate our brains more. We need more higher brain activity. If you guys are isolating, there's not much brain activity, you'll find yourself ruminating about traumatic events, experiences, bad feelings, what the other person, your abuser is doing now. So we need to reset many of the things in our brain, and we need to stimulate our brain to look forward to a future, really, to have a happier life. Let's see here. So what I did is I found this product. It's a serotonin dopamine liquescence. That's what it's called. And I've seen some good reviews. It's a homeopathic serotonin dopamine liquescence, mood support, depression. It comes in a 4-ounce glass bottle, American product, support for depressive states, brain chemistry support. It can help digestion. It helps all kinds of stuff. So I'm telling you. And like I said with oxytocin is so low, I guarantee you, as you get older, it gets lower and lower. This kind of emotional trauma, depression, things like this, drops it down so low, and it's so hard. Oxytocin is like the love hormone. We need to trust people again. We need to be excited about life and people, not be scared and think everyone's bad. So I suggest a product like this. This cost $30.45 on Amazon. If you guys are interested, follow the link, please. Thank you. So let's get started with the questions. First one is from Speedbird TV. Hello. Hi, mate. I have been blocked and unblocked so many times by my ex-girlfriend. Why has she kept me unblocked? I feel like I am being spied on. She also has my photos still. Wait, she also has my photos up still and is still blaming me for being the cause of why her friends have deserted her. I lost everything, including my business, and having this around is just hurting while I heal. Love the content. Thank you very much. So by having this around, I'm thinking you mean you're looking, right? Because if this is social media, you don't have to have it around, you know, and looking at it is really hurting yourself. If you know that it hurts when you look, we can't look anymore, okay? Honestly, don't do that to yourself anymore. Even if you think you're strong, even if you think, oh, I need to know what's going on, what she'll do next. Not really. I mean, if you start getting, unless you start getting, you know, criminal or legal issues, you get a lawyer, police involved, something like that. But other than that, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. That burner is red hot. Stop putting your hand on it, okay? I'm very sorry. So why is she doing the unblocked and blocked? This sounds like total compulsivity, right? Emotional instability. Think of how many times she changes her mind. Think of how great you were and then how bad you were. Think of her doing that to other people and other things. You know, restaurants and food and people you just met are so great and so bad, and I love them and I hate them. And it happens quick, right? So this kind of blocked and unblocked, this push-pull game is total. It's impulsive, compulsive, it's unstable emotions. She probably doesn't know who she is very well. Do you see her change her opinion on things quite often? Do you see how she can be, you know, whether it's sports teams or food or colors even, or, you know, I like this is my favorite, now this is my favorite. That's my favorite, no, I hate that. You know, this shows how she feels inside. Like this roller coaster, right? Not very sure of who she is because she doesn't live and she doesn't make choices that best say that. You know, she doesn't probably know what she's doing from one minute to the next. Very unsure. She might be paranoid. You know, these are people you don't really want to have in your life, as you know, as you now know. Best thing for you to do, I'm telling you, stop looking, and it can be an empowering decision that you can make. I'm not going to look anymore. This hurts me, so I'm taking control, and I'm not going to let it hurt me anymore. You know, the fact that she still has photos of you up, complaining that you're the worst thing that ever happened to her. We're not really sure what's going on, are we? Right? She has attachment issues. She has total accountability and responsibility issues. Like she doesn't take any. You know, she doesn't have a very bright future ahead of her. And I would just try to let her go and try not to look anymore. Try to get support, try to get help, try to stimulate yourself by doing things, more things, better things, healthy things, okay? Good luck. I'm sorry. Ruben from Pennsylvania. Hello, Ruben. My question is, what gives people the right to deliberately go out of their way to hurt others? Thank you for all you do to help me and others. Blessings to you. Thank you. Nobody has the right. And we can't let people abuse us, right? We have to stop it, not let it continue, not let it happen. It's not our fault, and we can't take fault for it. But we have to realize that abuse exists in the world, and we got to do what we can to not be victims of it. You know, so nobody has the right. Nobody has the right, and we can't let people do it. We can't let people think they have the right. I think some people think they have that right? Entitlement issues, control issues, objectification. So, yeah, nobody has the right, but we can't let people do it. Thank you, Ruben. Fit Mama from California. Hello again. My question is, would you revisit videos of past? The video on belongings and getting rid of reminders, items, helped me to start over. I gain insight on older and newer ones. Yeah, totally. I redo videos, topics, subjects, and I try to add something new to it every time. That is one of my biggest videos, so maybe I'll do another one like it again. I think it's probably been a year. So yeah, no problem. I've redone many subjects, stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people don't go looking back in my archive. I don't know how many videos I have. I know well over 400 now. So that's a lot to look through. You know, I have playlists to help you guys. I separated them a little bit. If you guys know where the front page is, and one of the selections you can go to is playlists, and I have like all my content videos, all my Q&A videos, stuff like this, borderline videos, stuff like this. So go ahead and check those out. But I know a lot of people don't want to go shuffle through old videos and stuff like that, so I try to. Yeah, and if you ever have questions, I mean, that's what weekly Q&As. Ask me anything you want. Thank you. Carrie Ann from United Kingdom, hello. Hi, David. Thank you for your continued effort in helping us be enlightened. You are so welcome. After 18-year relationship, I was discarded a year ago. A vanishing act. And he has never spoken to me since. He does turn up at my property. Just the garden and outbuildings. About once a month. Unable to move house due to child finances. But I stay out of his way to avoid interaction. Our child has not had contact with him since the discard. Although he does from time to time try to contact our daughter, he will often say things in the messages about me or lie about a situation, knowing it will annoy me. What is his motive? To have a relationship with his daughter or to hoover get a reaction from me? On the face of it, it seems it is for his child, but I value your opinion. I would say he's covert. Many thanks again. Thank you, Carrie Ann. So obviously I don't know him, but I'll tell you, you know, if he is a narcissist, if he has narcissistic personality disorder, I can tell you why, why I think a lot of them do stuff like this. So often narcissists, they really only have an identity, things they can identify with. They don't really know who they are. You know, they don't, if they have morals, they don't act in according to them, right? So they're very, very unstable in who they are. Like I was just telling somebody earlier, how their opinions change and stuff like this, and make impulsive choices, and you regret things, and then you don't say sorry, you feel bad, you feel stupid for what you did. So if all they care about is their identity, okay, things they identify with, some of the biggest ones in people's lives is father, mother, husband, wife, right? That's why divorce is so crushing, can be so crushing to a narcissist. I don't care if they try to make it look like it isn't. And that's why they go run to someone else, you know. And that's why it's hard to accept sometimes. They'll make divorce long and ugly. They may not care about their children, but once you try to rip apart their identity and say you're a bad father and you're no longer a husband, they might grab onto those things to say, no, I'm going to remain a father. They may not care about how good of one. Quite often I see narcissistic fathers say, I want to do this for my child. I'm going to do this for my child. But they never do, right? So, also don't forget that narcissists have an incredible amount of shame. And when they do things that are bad, something that makes them feel bad or guilty, things like this, ashamed of themselves even more, it's hard to recuperate from that, and it's hard to change that and do the right thing after that. Okay, so a lot of fathers, mothers too, but we're talking about fathers, narcissistic fathers, will make bad choices, right? And start off not being a good father. And that's all it takes. Now I'm this bad father, and I feel ashamed of myself, right? And so they don't have it in them to try again and fail. It may not be very or really important to them either, but it's the identity that's important to them, okay? The identity, what they identify with, not really who they are. And that's why they're not interested in who you are, just what your identity is, what you identify with, and how you make them feel. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry for what you're going through. These people have attachment problems. They don't know how to deal with the feelings they have. They don't know how to self-soothe and make themselves feel better. They run to other people. They go back to you and harass you or try to rekindle it again to get back some feeling again, to get something from you again. He needs to deal with how he feels in a healthy way, but I'm sure he will not. And we just hope over time they, break off this attachment, or they start identifying with something else. And that's quite often why they run to someone else and get married right away. Look, I'm a husband now. And look, I'm healthy and I'm doing everything right because I'm the one that's married now and you're the one that's hurt down there. Haha. It's all your fault. You know, I'm sorry. Awful. Good luck. Eventually it will get better. I mean, you know, to be extreme, eventually children grow up, right? They'll be adults themselves and this will be over. I'm sorry. Julia from India. Hello, Julia. Thanks a ton for your words of comfort. I really appreciate it, David. I have a question. You're welcome, Julia. Thank you. This week I happened to stumble upon 2 channels here on YouTube that spoke about the narcissists not being aware of their behavior and that it wasn't a conscious choice. Rather, their hurtful behaviors and words are a reflection of deep rejection in their childhood and also unresolved issues. My question is, if that were true, why do they not behave in the same way with everyone, but only with their targets? They are very sweet to others, but so hurtful with the ones who love them. My ex-narc told me that his proof of me cheating on him was his soul. Can you please explain that? Okay, you have a couple questions here. So, I kind of agree with that for the most part. I mean, the real problem for the people who have disorders is they lack awareness to realize that they do and that they have all these problems and it's their fault and they need to change. So they're not absolutely conscious. What's conscious? Aware, right? So they're not totally aware of what they're doing. They lack empathy, right? They don't realize how bad it hurts you. And they don't realize what they're doing is causing these problems. Not all the time. Or maybe they do some and they don't realize, or it feels so bad they ignore it and they don't fix things and it gets complicated. But your question, why do they hurt someone closest to them and not others? And that's really what it is, closest to them. These, you know, relationships are the biggest ones, the biggest problems. This is about their emotional life. They have no control over it. Things are problematic when they start relationships with people, and higher on the spectrum, more problems they have. They may not have any friends at all, right? And as far as being nice to somebody that they're not attached to, not invested to, things like this is different. It is different. That's the difference. They may feel like they own you. They start objectifying you. You go from human to object. Okay? Personality disorders are going to be problematic. Could be in their work life, day-to-day stuff like this, but the biggest problems are relationships. And so the biggest relationships will be more problematic. Okay? As relationships go on further, they become more problematic. More emotions. Okay? They haven't dealt with their pain or trauma or anything in their life. They don't know how. They don't face these things. So a lot of stuff comes up. They feel bad all the time. Things like this. They just try to feel better. They don't know how. They use people to do that. I hope that makes sense. Your other question is, your ex-narc told you that his proof of you cheating on him was just his soul knowing. And you've asked me a couple of different times, why does he keep accusing you of cheating when you never did? And I keep trying to explain to you that, you know, and by the other questions you've been asking me, I can tell he has a huge fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, okay? You know, he probably cheats. He may cheat. Usually people that accuse someone of doing something so much, you know, usually, not always, usually they do it themselves, right? Somebody that accuses someone of lying all the time really thinks about lying, may lie a lot. You know, I don't accuse people of stealing from me ever. I don't think about it. I don't steal, right? So I didn't think my people I date, I don't think they're cheating on me all the time. Not worried about it, unless they are, I guess. But, or sometimes even not when they are. I don't realize it. But, so, anyways, you're telling me you didn't cheat, right? But he knew you were by his soul. Massive fear of abandonment is my guess. Fear of rejection, things like this. You know, and people that are like this will often abandon. Did he abandon you? Right? Did he accuse you of you're going to leave him? Because he always accused you of being with someone else, right? That's what he's afraid of, you leaving him. So, hope that makes sense. I'm sorry you're still struggling with this. I hope things are starting to make a little more sense for you. Shannon in Washington State. Hello, Shannon. Hi, David. I've been watching you since the beginning of your videos. Awesome. Thank you, Shannon. I have a question, but first I want to thank you for all of your time, energy, and compassion. Your weekly support has helped me not only remain no contact for almost 3 years, but has helped me dive into a self-healing I have never known before. I am so much healthier than even before the poor relationships I chose. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, Shannon, thank you so much for telling me. Thank you very much. You are so welcome. I'm glad that you've been able to utilize, my energy and stuff like this for yourself, and that's helped, and that's just awesome. And I love that you are healthier than even before your poor relationships you chose. You're truly healing, and that lets you know that, people say, I just want to feel normal, right? I want to feel like I used to. Well, continue so that you feel even better than you used to, because people that enter these bad, emotional, abusive relationships usually don't feel that good before they enter them. And you may not realize you don't until you start feeling better. Yeah, until like Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. So question. I have a friend who has been with her narc for almost 3 years. About once every couple months, they go through a cycle and she wants to leave. She calls and wants to cry on my shoulder, explaining all the abuse. I listen. I help with all I have learned. I point out YouTube channels such as yours, since they have helped me so much. She is just not ready to stop being abused. The last time she went back, I told her that I have given her all the tools that I know how to give. When she is ready, she should start there. That was 6 months ago. 2 days ago, she started calling me again. I feel so guilty for not responding back to her, David. But when I do, it is very triggering for me. Even after 3 years of no contact. Am I wrong to turn away? I remember when I felt so alone. I just have not wanted her to feel that way. But on the other hand, you always say love yourself first. It hurts when she goes back and chooses the abuse. Thank you again for everything. God bless you, David. Shannon. Thank you, Shannon, again. And so what's important? Makes you feel bad. You can't fix it. That's it. And just my opinion on top of it, you're doing the right thing. You have to, Shannon. Try to understand that there's a very fine line between help and enabling. We all want to help the people we care about. Sometimes we do too much and we end up enabling them. What do I mean by that? Well, Shannon, imagine, you've been doing it. Imagine you keep doing it and you keep being there for her every time she's upset and cries. The problem that your friend's having, right, is she's not being responsible for what's going on. She's not doing something to change it, right? She's, venting to a friend is a great thing to do. It's a great thing to do. But does that solve the problem? No, it doesn't. You've given her the tools. She knows what's going on. She knows where the help is. And that help is outside her door, not inside. Because there's nothing anybody can do inside for her. Only she can do it inside. Okay? She can take that step out the door and you can let her know that you're there when she's ready. But not to sit and listen to her pain anymore, because it hurts you too. I don't want to watch anybody I care about be hurt, period. And if someone is going to be hurt over and over and over again and there's nothing you can do anymore, then you can't witness it. You can't be around it. It's not healthy for you. It's not good for you. And I love that you're using my simple, stupid little term, love yourself first, because it works. I didn't say just love yourself. Love yourself first. I know you love your friend. That means take care of yourself first, and she needs to do the same. Okay? Awful thing to watch. Anybody we care about. We don't want to see this, especially we've been through it and we know how it is. Try to see it in a different way. Shannon, you're okay. You've gone through this, you're okay, right? She will be too. She will be too. She'll be okay, I'm sure. But she has to take that step. She has to. She has to, Shannon. You've been a great friend. Sounds like, given her a lot of answers, been a shoulder to cry on. What more can you do? We aren't here to serve people more than ourselves and just hope that other people serve us back. And whatever we do for others, we need to make sure we're okay, right? So it doesn't make you feel good. Let's stop it. How do we stop it? Can't control him, can't control her. But you can control you. Period. You tell her you love her, you tell her you're sorry, and you tell her you're doing this because you love her, because you can't see her get hurt anymore. Can't see her get hurt anymore. And you tell her that just listening to her obviously isn't working. You know, she needs help. She needs therapy, guys. We don't dump all of our problems on our friends all the time. Friends aren't here to take care of our mental health. And you know, that's why people go to school and stuff, you know, to learn how to do this correctly, appropriately, and period. I mean, it's just, we shouldn't do that to people that close to ourselves. Therapists don't help family. They shouldn't. You know? I don't even give that much help, or, you know, maybe some advice, but, you know, family and friends and stuff like this, I don't try to coach them and talk to them and, you know, just listen, give some advice. Anyways. Yeah, Shannon, take care of yourself. Try to see it that your friend's going to be okay because you were. You are. You're okay now. She'll be okay. She's falling down and going boom now, right? She wants to keep falling down. She wants to keep making the same mistakes. Something's got to change. And you know what usually change? You know what usually helps? You know what really pushes people? Loss. We lose everything. We lose everybody. And it's just like, that's usually what makes us take a stance, make a choice, make a change, right? As long as you keep making it easier for her to take the abuse, she may continue. She might have, you said, she's not done hurting. Well, it might hurt more now that she's going to lose some friends. And now she might be willing to take that step out the door. But be careful, okay? You might say that and she'll say, okay, and then call you next week, in a month, 3 months, and do the same thing still. Because she's not doing well right now. She's in a bad place, not thinking clearly. Okay? Good luck. Let's try and do one more. KP from Australia. I'm sorry, Australia. You've often stated narcs aren't emotionally responsible, don't want to face emotions, have no empathy, etc. But also they need to agitate you to break you down via emotional manipulation. This kind of implies that they are emotionally literate in as much as how to manipulate others' emotions, doesn't it? Could you explain the gap, please? And then you have another question. So just to briefly address that, emotionally responsible, right? That's facing our emotions and processing them correctly all the way to the end. Okay, and they don't do that. So very simple, they don't self-soothe. They don't make themselves feel better, right? When they're down and they're bad, they have to go like you said, agitate someone. So what that is like, they don't do it all the time. It's when it's a certain way they feel, and they want you to feel the way they do. That helps them feel better. Do you understand? Instead of you just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," pat, pat, pat. Here's a little empathy. Oh, no, that's not enough. It would be for us, because we can, you know, we kind of know who we are. We've got some morals and say, I'm a good person anyways. I don't deserve this. Hope that makes sense. Ask me more if you don't understand. And then a follow-up question. What are your thoughts on narc self-harm? My BPD ex would accidentally on purpose do bizarre things like burn her forearm getting stuff out of a hot oven, repeatedly get her toes stuck under opening doors to damage her toenails, and this one was really bizarre. When going for a run on a flat track, she would trip over nothing, resulting in deep grazes and scratches that would bleed a lot. Thank you for your wisdom. Well, I mean, there's all kinds of different self-harm. You know, all kinds of different reasons. I mean, when you start talking cutting, there's different reasons for cutting than there are for taking drugs, maybe getting high. But it's really, right, I don't like myself, I hate myself, I don't feel good, I don't know how to make myself feel good, I don't know how to cope with life. The examples you gave are funny, but I don't know if she's doing this on purpose for attention or if she's clumsy. I don't know, right? You know, probably. You gave the examples, you didn't really say. I mean, you're saying it's self-harm, like she's actually trying to hurt herself. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, especially borderline's known for dissociating. Can't handle my emotions. I feel really bad. It's so intensely bad. I don't know how to feel better, and they might hurt themselves. Physical pain. If they dissociate a lot, to escape that kind of pain, then they might bring themselves back online, their nervous system back online, by cutting themselves, wake themselves up again. See, there's all kinds of different reasons, but absolutely instability, emotional instability, big time. Just the worst, right? Massive shame. I'm a bad person. Hope that makes sense. I got to stop the video here. First one, second one will start soon. Thank you all. See you in part 2. Bye-bye.